obviously, you know, we all different things to go. First is personal. We have a lot of time for teaching. Second is parking lot management. Other things, a lot of activities are happening. And we have here QR code, which will put it here also outside, and you just have to scan it and you will get it to the sign up genius. All the different services, aid, time slot, any slot available, is everything. All the so without everything, let's build today's service speaker. They just identify a group. We don't need any introduction. He is given wonderful after and Farmington has certificates, different companies that he's getting. Actually, he's one of the critical university and he's currently working in for science group and promoting the teacher, guide, mentor, cook. So there's no single certificate he has not. He has touched many lives, amazing in-depth knowledge of that. He's known for remembering verses and how to, you know, apply those verses in real life. So he's known for his humility as well. Amazing. I mean, there's not a single aspect of humility he's not that. So without further delay, let's welcome Jan Sachinandan Prabhu. This is right place as our ISKCON speaker. It's a speaker on ISKCON. That's 3 times domination.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Kupichana Janta Girivardhana Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gopi Vallabha Radha Gopi Vallabha Radhe. Jaya Pita Patita Pavan Kauradi Jaya Pita Patita Pavan Kauradi. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Harinama Sankirtan Mahal. Om Abhyana Virantasya Nanantarashlavaya Chakshuru. Umviridamena Tasmai Shri Guruveva. Shri Chaitanya Manavishnu Sthapitam Yen Presve. Kadamahyam Dadati Svabadam. Vande Shri Guru Shri Kapam. Shri Vaishnavam Shri Guru Sampradam. Salvaitam Salvaitam. Hey Krishna Karuna Saptam Chanavagina Devana Mancha Kalpuru Krishna Pasu Deva Sakti Kama Pavan Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna 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 Deva Swami Namaste Namaste Saraswati Devi Bhagavani Prasadi Nirvishesha Bhagavani Krishna Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasa Vigaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Thank you, Shri Gopal, for the generous introduction. To be very honest, I'm struggling having a job, family, 2 kids, and then trying to understand who am I, trying to understand how to have meaningful relationships. So I'm a work in progress, and by speaking on occasions like these, I get a chance to maybe dive deeper into studying something, or otherwise I'm too lazy to study. So I see it as an opportunity that Shanti Shobha gave me, so thank you. Much of this is meant for me, most of it is meant just for me, for my own edification. If you speak, I'm over speaking, or maybe over than Madhika, please forgive me as your humble servant. So I thought I could speak on this topic of reversals. So reversals are something, when I say reversals, what it means is I expect life to go in a certain way and it takes a completely different turn. I expect certain amount of respect. I expect certain amount of fame. I expect recognition. I expect money. I expect people to be with me. But suddenly someone leaves me. This world, they die. I don't get a promotion. So reversals are something in everyone's life in different ways. It's just a matter of which cross or settle. And everyone is in fear because of reversals. If the next reversal is going to happen in my life, is this going to happen or is this not going to happen? So this whole world is gripped in fear. So naturally, a person would be inquisitive to understand how to transcend this fearsome situation. This is natural. The modern society tries to mentally adjust to this fear by many mechanisms, by many philosophies, by arrangement of entertainment. In this way, it tries to adjust to this fear. A person who's a Dhira can realize that this fear is artificial to me. So the whole purpose of Srimad Bhagavatam as a scripture is to make us understand different lives of devotees who go through reversals. And what is the root cause of these reversals? What is the source? because spiritual life is not a sentiment. It is basically analyzing the cause and effects of our problems. So I'll go to the lecture without wasting further time, and we will start with a small excerpt from our dear founder, His Divine Grace of Vijayanagara, So Prabhupada is saying, so everyone is afraid, everyone is taking the defense. Even tiger is also afraid. Do you know that? Tiger also. Tiger has become very powerful and everyone is afraid of. He can catch anyone and kill him and eat him. Unfortunately, he does not get the opportunity of catching anyone. The tiger cannot eat every day very nicely. No, nobody is going. Everybody has got to struggle. Now he is Upasyatim Hasya Pravisham Mukhe from Hitopadesha. This is the statement. So this fearfulness is there in the dog, in the hawk, in the small sparrow, bird, everywhere. You see the sparrow bird? As soon as they want to land, they want to eat something like this, he's afraid. Is not somebody coming to kill me? That's all. Everywhere. The aquatics also. Everyone is afraid of life, for life. So this is the nature of this world. Though people might wear different dresses outside, they might pose for cameras outside, they might make for an Instagram story, but ultimately everyone is crippled by fear. This is the nature of this world. So in order to transcend this fear, if one transcends this fear, one will feel great relief in life. So how do we do this? The Bhagavad explains. It's broken this fear reversals into 3 segments. And so reversals can be broken into Shoka, Moha, and Bhaya. So fear, delusion, and lamentation. Reversals means I'm afraid something in the future will not be the way I want it to be, or lament about the past. Maybe I should have gotten respect like this. Maybe I should have done this degree. Maybe I shouldn't have married someone. Maybe I should have stayed single. Maybe I shouldn't have had a child so early. This is lamenting. And afraid is, who knows who will take care of me? Who knows if I go there, people will smile at me or not? Like there is fear. And the root of both of this is actually moha. So moha, shoka, bhaya is a single package. Shoka, moha, bhaya is a single package. So, and this package can be broken down only by attacking this person called the moha. Because moha is what is holding it together. One side of moha is shoka, another side of moha is moha means, interestingly, the meaning of the word moha itself is reversal. We are trying to understand how to overcome reversals in life. And the word moha itself means everything is in reverse mode in our life. Whatever we take seriously is actually very simple. Whatever we take very simply is actually very serious. I'm fighting over a small thing. It is nothing serious. I'm very specific about it. You made sambar. Sambar must have this taste only. You added a little more sambar powder. Should not have happened. You added a little more this. Very specific about it. So my specificity is inverse. I can understand what I like by understanding what I'm specific. If I'm specific about something, it means I like it a lot. If I'm generic about something, that means I really care. Who's God? Krishna's God. There is God. Be more specific, that I know. That means I really don't care. I really don't care. What is spiritual life? Spiritual life means you just close your eyes for minutes. No specificity. Why should I close my eyes? What is happening inside? No detail to it. But everything else, pizza, this topping, that, this type of cheese, mozzarella, whatever. So much specific. So moha itself means my whole idea of what I'm specific about, what I'm giving importance to is changing. What I am emphasizing, what I think I am I think I am this body, inverse. I think this body is all in all, inverse. I think God does not exist. I think material pleasures exist, inverse. Inverse, material pleasure doesn't exist, but I think it is existing. I think it is existing. Where is it existing? Where is it existing? I think this person is my wife. Does it exist? Doesn't exist. It exists only in my mind. This person is my child. This person does it exist? It is not sat, it is asat. Asat means that which does not exist actually. But because of this moha, I have embraced things. Asatyale satyakoriman. I think that which does not exist as that which exists. I think that which does not offer any curiosity, which doesn't have any star as that offers it. So in this way, my whole idea itself is reversed. Everything inverse, association inverse, everything. In this way, people are absorbed in animalistic instincts, eating, mating, sleeping, defending. These are instincts. I don't have to be so intelligent about. I don't have to think about so much. But right now, all my intelligence, all my energy, all my effort is wasted in this direction. And so what? I become a person who is simply materially hopeful. This is my stage right now. I'm always materially hopeful. What will be the next exciting thing? My children will take care of me. My husband is there for me. So a normal person in this world is full of material hope. Everyone has hope, because if you don't have any hope, you'll become depressed. Every person is looking for something to be hopeful. But intelligence means to understand what to be hopeful about. What should I be hopeful about? So everyone in this material world is on this platform or trying to be on this platform. And whenever we have reversals, this material hope is destroyed. And then a person comes to material hopelessness. He falls down to tamoguna, so he becomes depressed. Oh, I lost my only son. I lost my daughter. I lost my life. I lost prestige. I lost this. I lost that. I lost that. So everyone is trying to be on the material platform and trying to be hopeful. This hope is basically durasha. It is not possible to be hopeful in this world. That doesn't exist. If I do stay on that platform, I'll be dislodged on that platform, and I come to this material hopelessness platform. So this material hopelessness is tamoguna, material hope is rajoguna, spiritual hope is sattva-guna, and devotional hope is shuddha sattva. So where is my hope? What am I hoping for? What am I excited about? That is what is me. Whatever I'm excited about is me. Forget what other people believe about you. I can wear a tilak and somewhere can be a nice mala around me. I can nicely sit like this and talk. But what am I excited about is me. What am I hopeful about? If I'm hopeful about something material, I'll get a slap. Whoever I am, if I touch anything matter, definitely I'll be slapped. This reversal has to happen. So the beginning of this reversal itself is the root of this reversal that we are experiencing, the cause of this reversal. So the yoni for this is basically our reverse faith is the reason for this reversal. We have a wrong faith, what will make me happy? I have faith in the mode of passion. I have faith that if I enjoy this world, this faith itself is a reverse thinking. This faith that this is my family is a reverse faith. That itself is a reversal. That is the reversal. And because of this reverse understanding, I undergo reversal after reversal after reversal. So Moham itself means inverter operator. Everything is inverse. Soul will appear as body, body will appear as soul. Body will appear eternal, soul will appear temporal. Hello, I will die, one person. Right? My body should not die, I'm getting grey hair. So I want the body to be eternal, and I'm afraid the soul will die. What great delusion is this? This is the power of Krishna's Maya, very powerful, where everyone is smitten by this illusion. So, anywhere you go in this material world, they can never take fear out of your equation and mind. They can never do it. If you open the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, this opportunity becomes open. Where someone is telling, I don't have to go through this fear again and again in my mind. I have an opportunity. This opportunity is explicitly present only in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Very nice beginning. So, this antidote to this moha is basically we have to hear about who we are to break this moha, and that is what is called Shravan. And whatever we hear, we speak about it. We speak about it, whatever excites us, we speak about it. This is called Kirtanam. Kirtanam is not necessarily a musical exercise. Kirtanam means I am getting excited about something, whatever I'm hearing about Krishna, and I share that excitement. That is called Kirtanam. The person who is known for Kirtanam, Shukadeva Goswami, he didn't do Hare Krishna Kirtan especially. He spoke about Krishna continuously. And then speaking about Krishna with great affection, with great rati, with great attachment is called Kirtan. And it could be anything. You're hearing a class on Bhagavad Gita and you're sharing that to others. That is Kirtanam. You're hearing about beautiful qualities of Krishna. You're attracted to the beautiful dress of Krishna and you share that to someone else. That is Kirtanam. You might not know Raga, Malkams or Hindolam or Mohanam or whatever Raga. You may not know all these Raga. But if you're glorifying with all your heart, Krishna is so beautiful. Krishna is Bhagavan. If you can feel that, that is Kirtanam. So by hearing about who we are continuously, who's Krishna, continuously, this false, misplaced faith gets broken. Boom, it gets Vidyate Gridaya Granthi. It gets broken. Chidyate Sarva Samshayaha. The doubts get cut off. Kshiyate Jasya Karmani. It gets destroyed. Drishtva Evatmani Ishware. You will see who you are face to face. Just like when the clouds move apart, you see the sun without any trace of doubt. You see it then and there. That's the way you see it. Drishtva Evatmani Ishware. You can see this. This is Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam. Bhagavan Tattva Vijnanam Anta Satvasya Jayate. This is not an artificial imposition on mind. This is real. This is not a belief system. So I have a belief system. That belief system is called a moha. So I have many times mentioned this again and again because it's so important. It doesn't require faith to believe in it. So the faith we have is false faith. This is called moha. Moha means false faith. This false faith has to be broken. False faith that belongs to this family. False faith that this person is a man. This person is a woman. This person is an Indian. This person is mine. This person is I. Everything has to be broken one by one, one by one. I'm telling this for myself. So this has to be done. How do you do this? From Kirtan. It's a very beautiful shloka. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam. Repeat after me. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam. Krishne Parama Purushe. Saha Shloka Moha Bhayapaha. Simply by giving all reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotion service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. So Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha. It will be removed. Whatever bhayam you have, whatever fear you have, everything can be overcome simply by paying submissive or reception to the words emanating from the lotus mouth of a pure devotee. By paying submissive or reception, a pure devotee is speaking in the pages of Bhagavatam, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Srila Prabhupada is speaking in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. If one pays submissive or reception continuously without deviating to something else, then immediately one will understand this is foreign to me. Whatever I'm thinking is merely an imagination. It actually doesn't exist. It is Maya Matra. One will immediately perceive this, just like one awakens from a dream, one doesn't understand this is real. Similarly, one will perceive this Shoka Moha Bhayapam. I'll just read an excerpt of this purport by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada's purport is very, very nice. I don't want to miss that purport. Prabhupada is saying, there are various senses of which the ear is the most effective. The sense works even when a man is in deep sleep. One can protect himself from the hands of an enemy while awake, but while asleep, one is protected by the ear only. So we are all asleep. Please, I'm sorry, I should not say that. At least I am asleep. The importance of hearing is mentioned here in connection with attaining the highest perfection of life, namely getting free from the three material pangs. Everyone is full of lamentation at every moment. He is after the mirage of illusory things. And he is always afraid of his supposed enemy. Very nice point. I really like this point. And he is always afraid of his supposed enemy, which means it is imaginary. These are the primary symptoms of material disease, and it is definitely suggested here that simply by hearing the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, one gets attachment, rati for the Supreme Personality of God, Sri Krishna, and as soon as is affected, the symptoms of the material diseases disappear. Srila Vyasadeva saw the perfect personality of God, and in the statement, all perfect personality of God, Sri Krishna is clearly confirmed. The ultimate result of devotional service is to develop genuine love for the Supreme Personality. Love is a word which is often used in relationship with man and the world. And love is the only word that can be properly used to indicate the relationship of Krishna, Lord Krishna, and the living entities. The living entities are mentioned as Prakriti in the Bhagavad Gita. And in Sanskrit, Prakriti is a feminine object. The Lord is always described as the Parama Purusha, or the Supreme Male Personality. Thus, the affection between the Lord and the living entities is something like that between a male and a female. Therefore, the term love of Godhead is quite appropriate. Loving devotion service to the Lord begins with hearing about the Lord. There is no difference between the Lord and the subject matter heard about. So everything about Krishna is absolute. This is one of the important things. It's called Advaya Jnana. The Lord is absolute in all respects, and there is no difference between him and the subject with him in the process of vibration of the transcendental sound. And the transcendental sound is so effective that it acts at once by removing all material affections mentioned above. As mentioned before, the living entity develops a sort of complexity by material association. Nice one. Prabhupada is saying, as mentioned before, a living entity develops a sort of complexity by material association. How many of you can relate to it? Complexity by material association. And the illusory engagement of the material body is accepted as an actual fact. This is not a fact. This is not a fact. Under such false complexity, the living beings under different categories of life become illusion in different ways. Even at the most developed stage of human life, the same illusion prevails in the form of many isms and divides the living relationship between the Lord and thereby divides the loving relationship between man and man. By hearing the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam, this false complexity of materialism is removed and real peace in society begins, which politicians aspire for so eagerly in so many political situations. The politicians want a peaceful situation between man and nation and nation. But at the same time, because of too much attachment for material domination, there is illusion and fearfulness. Therefore, the politicians' peace conferences cannot bring about peace in society. It can be done only by hearing the subject matter described in the Srimad Bhagavatam about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. So, maybe I'll finish this also. The foolish politicians may go on holding peace and summit conferences for hundreds of years, but they will fail to achieve success. Until we reach the stage of re-establishing our lost relationship with Krishna, the illusion of accepting the body as the self will prevail. And thus fearfulness will also prevail. As for the validity of Sri Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are hundreds of thousands of evidences in the scriptures. There are hundreds of thousands of evidences, personal experience of devotees in various places like Vrindavan, Navadvip, and Puri. Even the Kaumudi dictionary, this synonyms for Krishna is given as a son of Yashoda and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The conclusion is that simply by hearing the Vedic literature Srimad Bhagavatam, one can have direct connection with the Supreme Personality of God Sri Krishna, and thereby one can attain highest perfection of life by transcending material miseries, worldly miseries, illusion, and fearfulness. These are the practical tests for one who is again given a submissive hearing to the readings of Srimad Bhagavatam. Wonderful purport. These purports are Prabhupada's hearts. So these purports are Prabhupada's personalities. So by associating with these purports, one can, by Prabhupada's blessings, one can have at least a fraction of the experience that Srila Prabhupada has experienced. So this is all mystical. So this is the path, this is the way to antidote delusion, which is causing so many problems. Then what is this? Another thing is Kirtanam. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama. After the ways of the great authorities, the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied with the of transcendental knowledge. So hear about Krishna until the time moha departs. And moha departs, then one will feel a slight taste. Actually, one will feel that Krishna is real. Soul is real. One enters the Sandhini Shakti. Because moha is basically the tamoguna, mahamaya. When the tamoguna departs more and more and more, then Srimati Radharani reveals herself in the form of Sandhini Shakti. And when Sandhini Shakti is revealed, one will actually perceive Krishna's existence to be factual. And immediately when one realizes Krishna's existence to be factual, one will start to hear more about him. One will start hearing about his qualities, pastimes, name, form, and understand, wow, Krishna is so attractive. And immediately when one perceives Krishna as attractive, one will start talking about Krishna as if there is no tomorrow. This is called Kirtan. So the more and more one does this, one actually becomes mad in ecstasy. One becomes mad in ecstasy. And to become mad is the nature of the living entity. Life means to go from one madness to another madness. Become mad with sports. Balastavat krida sakta, tarunastavat taruni sakta, vriddhastavat chintamagna. There is madness for different things. Madness for sex, madness for prestige, madness for recognition, madness for fame, madness for popularity. I'm talking about all the madness I have. So I'm mad after so many things. So by hearing from a pure devotee, then what happens? One finds the perfect place for his madness. Is Krishna. And once that person has found, that madness is perfected. That's it. Now the buck stops there, there is no going back. There is no necessity for jumping to a different madness and getting cheated. Right? One becomes mad after Krishna. And this transcendental madness was personified by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. Right? So this madness is what we are desiring for. So we are all coming together so that we all can become. Sounds very funny, right? But that is the reality. We all want to become mad. Right? I remember when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj came here, he said, who all want to have this disease of becoming mad of Krishna? Right? And a few days ago, I was hearing His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj was here. And he was mentioning about chanting. Very nice quote. I wish I had that quote. He said, a person who's chanting the holy name of Krishna, he cannot stop that for a moment. He'll keep on chanting until he becomes ecstatic. So Gopal Krishna Maharaj, amazing quote. So I was remembering, so in this way, a person more and more he becomes ecstatic in this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, one sees Krishna. And we can have the association of Maharaj and devotees like Maharaj who has come here. So in this way, the more and more we hear, We become ecstatic, and this moham is finished. And this moham is finished. So now we will discuss about some life examples of people who went through reversals. How they got out of it through the Shravana Kirtan. Two categories of people will see. One who went through reversals, and after going through the reversals, they find bhakti. One category. Another category of person who did continuous bhakti, mad. They don't even realize this reversal itself came. It went like as if like a dream, and it went. Like clouds go past, it went. They didn't even realize this reversals came. Did it really go? Did it really come? They didn't even realize it. Another category. Two categories you will see. I'm trying to be the first category. But we'll talk about Arjuna. So Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita begins with lamentation, reversal, Shocha. I said Shoka Moha Bhaya. It begins with Shocha. And Krishna is holding Arjuna. Ashochayan and Vashochastvam Prajnavadam Stabhashase. Gatasuna Gatasumsha Na Shochati Pandita. Shocha, Shocha, Shocha. 3 times Shocha. And Krishna is again is telling Mashtaha. Fully, don't worry, Shlokas, Krishna. Second chapter. So it begins with Arjuna being worried. And what did Arjuna do? What did Arjuna do? He heard about Krishna. He heard about who am I? Natvevaham jatanasam natvam neve janadivaha chaivan bhavishyama sarveva. Dekinvasumrya dade gaumaram yevanam jarapada dehan. Achedyoya madasyoya makleti ashukeva. Achaloyam sanatanaha. Understanding the nature of the spirit which is separate from the body. The soul has nothing to do with this material body. This is the beginning of all pleasure. I have nothing to do with this. This is an accident. My association with material nature is an accident at best. I have nothing to do with this. This is how Krishna begins. And sharpening the buddhi, eva buddhehe param buddhva satstabhyatmanam atmana. So evam buddhehe param buddhva, with your intelligence, understand that the soul is separate from this. Don't attend to material desires again and again. The more and more you attend to it, it becomes more and more and more. Don't keep on attending to these desires. If you keep on attending, it will keep on growing. It will keep on growing. Just like an itch, just like a fuel. The more you satisfy these desires, you will start believing that I am those desires. And the more you think you are those desires, you never have an opportunity to understand that you have an existence outside of those desires. So if you want to have an understanding of your existence beyond those desires, tolerate. This is what Krishna is saying. And as soon as one tolerates desires, one can perceive oneself separate from these desires. One will transcend the platform of mind. One will come to the platform of intelligence and understand things in a sense. In this way, Arjuna is hearing about who am I, who's Krishna. Krishna is hearing about himself. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am Bhagavan. I am Sarvas. Krishna is hearing. Arjuna is hearing. Arjuna is hearing. And then what happens? His shocha is reducing 100%. 95, 93, 90. And his hearing, at one point, the hearing becomes too much. Hearing becomes too much. It starts glorifying. Param Brahma Param Dham Pavitram Param Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Bhajanam Sarvam Yirkratam Manya Yadma Vrasi Krishna. Whatever you say, he starts glorifying. So his hearing is brimming. And then what happens? He starts glorifying Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Kirtanam is an overflow of hearing. I've heard so much. This is real. I'm becoming mad. I have to say this to someone else. Kirtanam is an overflow. It's an overflow. You see? It's an overflow. So Arjuna started glorifying. He heard, he glorified. Then he asked a question. He heard, he glorified. And what happened at the end? Nashta moha smritir labdha prasada. No more lamentation, no more reversal. I'm enthusiastic now to fight. Right? Give me the Gandhi now. I will fight. Reversal happened, but it took to the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam. What happened? Broken. Moham is broken. Moham is broken. Shoka and Bhaya have no existence. Shoka and Bhaya have Ashrayam and Moham. Both of them are Tamoguna candidates. Both are depression. Depression means Shoka and Bhayam. That is called depression. Not knowing why I am unhappy, not knowing what to do next is called depression. Both of them have an Ashraya Bhava on this Moham. Moham is Tamoguna. On this platform of Moham, I have false desires. I cannot have false desires unless I'm a fool. And on this platform of false Moham, I am having false desires. And when these false desires are broken, I get depressed. And someone is giving motivational speech to have another false desire. And I go after another false desire. And I get more motivated. And I again get slapped. And I again get depressed. Again hear another motivational speech. I again have another false desire. I again get slapped. You see? So material hope is basically false desire. Which means it doesn't exist. It is Maya Matram. It is illusory. IST. Illusory, suffering, temporary. IST. This is what is material desires. It doesn't exist. If it existed, why does it go away? If I'm really happy with marriage, why does it go away after a few months? You see? Why does it go away? If it is really Vastavam, why does it go away? It means it never existed. It was my imagination all throughout. If I was really happy with children, why does it always not stay? Because it never existed in the first place. The presupposition of existence itself is Maya. It doesn't exist. If you cut here only, you don't have to go to the next stage where you understand it is literally visible. It doesn't exist. It is avastavam. So one has to see this reality. How do you see this reality? Hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, continuous hearing, not official hearing, not formal hearing, not what to say, show of hearing, formality. Not that will not do. That will not do. Initiation means that one makes a determination to hear continuously from a pure devotee. That is called initiation. I will hear and then do kirtanam. And by this intense bhajana kriya, anartha starts going away because moha is the foundation of anarthas. And moha drops, anartha falls down like a pack of cards. Goes back, boom, that's over. That's it. Nothing done. Nothing more to be said. Every anartha is saying on moha. You take this moha, everything falls like a pack of cards. Whole thing falls off like a pack of cards because it doesn't have any existence. It is foolish. It is avastavam. Right? So anyway, going further. Now, Gita word. Now we'll read another thing. Three things we'll see. Parikshit Maharaj, Chitraketu and Gajendra. The three examples. I forgot to say another four things which are actually all these personalities where it caused comment to them. See. First thing is you can repeat after me, Swadosha Drishti. Seeing one's own foolishness. Second, Guru Pada Ashraya. Taking shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. Third, Shravanam. Leading to Bhagavat Tattva Vijnana. And fourth is Hare, Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, and Kirtan. So these four things is what is that gradually transitions. Sambandha, Avideya, and Prayojana. So the second things is the Avideya, where you do Shravanam and Kirtanam. And the second thing, Guru Pada Ashrayam, is what qualifies you to Shravanam. Without the blessing of a pure devotee, one will not have the strength to do continuous Shravanam and Kirtanam. One will start getting bored after doing little Shravanam. Because when you stop getting realizations, you don't get realizations, you won't get excited. If you don't get excited, you will stop doing it. So if one has to get excited, one has to get the blessings of Sri Guru. So then when gets excited, then give more, give me more, dil mange more, give me more, here more. I don't want to stop. So we talk about Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj's reversal is not my kind of reversal. Parikshit Maharaj, everyone knows, he's here. Die, he has to die. In 7 days, he will die. For what? For something, I hung a serpent because I was very thirsty. For someone who does not know the story of Parikshit Maharaja, he was the grandson of Arjuna. He went to the forest, on a hunting expedition. And then basically he became very thirsty. And then he went to an ashrama. He asked for water. The person was doing meditation, and he did not even observe it. And then he became a little angry by the arrangement of Krishna. So the Bhagavatam can be spoken. He took a dead snake and hung it around the neck of the Rishi, and the son came to realize it. He cursed Parikshit Maharaja has to die. In 7 days, Parikshit Maharaja comes to know he is going to die in 7 days. Amongst all reversals, death is the ultimate reversal. Old age is one type of reversal. My hair is getting grey. One thing is getting reversed. Okay. My knee activity is getting reversed. Little reversal. Okay. Right. Now I'm not able to run after a grandchildren. Little reversal. Sorry. But everything that you have invested in someone now forcibly reversed. I always think, whenever I fold the clothes, I will be folding the clothes for my children. Now imagine. Say my son passes away. For some reason or whatever. Now, every time I fold these clothes, what will I do? Every time I open the cupboard, what will I do? Every day, the car seat where we will be sitting, what will I do? Every small memory is infested in our memory. All these things, there are memories. We are not looking at things, we are looking at memories. You know what? Death is a forcible stop to these memories. There is a forcible reversal, wholesale. Everything. Imagine, I lost all my data on self. Reversal of all information in one instance. Similarly, death is everything reversed in one moment, forcibly. We don't realize the magnanimity of magnitude of death actually. So Parikshit Maharaja was cursed to die. But how did he handle that reversal? He's saying, Supreme Personality of God, the controller of both the transcendental and mundane worlds, has graciously overtaken me in the form of a Brahmana's curse. Due to my being too much attached to family life, the Lord, in order to save me, has appeared before me in such a way that only out of fear I will detach myself. So Parikshit Maharaja, what did he do? He understood these reversals are not the real reversals. The philosophy that I am adopted to has been reversed. The faith that I have been having has been reversed. In order to remind me to reverse that faith, if I had the right philosophy, this would have appeared like a reversal. This wouldn't have appeared like a reversal itself. This appears like a reversal because it is attached to a reversed condition of life. I'm thinking, my family, my child is doing. He got the first prize. Oh, you got the first place. Very nice. And what is it for me? My family, my children. In this way, by hearing, everyone is hearing. It is not only devotees are hearing, everyone is hearing, and everyone is meditating on their own self. There is one thing we're all meditating constantly. Who's that? Myself. Everyone is constantly meditating on oneself. But everyone is meditating on a false conception of self. And you can say I'm meditating on the house, but I'm meditating on the house because it belongs to me. So who am I meditating on? Him. I'm meditating on this laptop because it belongs to me. So why am I meditating on the laptop? So I'm constantly meditating on me, and to increase that false meditation, I'm hearing from this person, hearing from that person, so all false hearing. And I'm also doing Kirtanam. Who am I doing Kirtanam of? Swayam Kirtanam. I'm glorifying myself. So I'm hearing about falsities and I'm glorifying myself. So Shureva Goswami is telling me, Shrota Vyavini Rajendra Dridam Santi. A person who's too much attached to this Graham Antakupam, because this Graham, why is his household life so blasted like great center in Bhagavatam? Because his household life legitimizes this moha. You will never think there is something wrong with this moha. I will never think I will never think something is wrong with this. Wrong with this moha. Everything is okay. It legitimizes it. It validates it. So even if I go outside this place, I will forget it. I'll forget it. Except a person who has taken firm shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Everyone will forget what we discussed. That is the only way one has a rati at the lotus feet of a pure devotee, Guru Padashraya. He will have the fear, I will never leave your lotus feet. If I leave your lotus feet, it is tapam. It is hot outside. I will not leave your lotus feet. I will not leave your lotus feet. I will not leave. So, in this way, Parikshit Maharaja, he put the whole thing, he changed the game. He changed the whole game of how he wants to play life. He said, I will not accept this as a reverse. I will think that my philosophical position was a reverse. That was a reversal. That is the problem. This is not the problem. And to remind me about that. So from now on, I will not hear and talk about anything which is false, which doesn't exist. I glorify something which doesn't exist. Everyone is glorifying in one sense, even if you take it even further. Everyone is glorifying Krishna. Everyone is serving Krishna. Focus in one place. Everyone is unknowingly the servant of Krishna. I'm glorifying Krishna's material tendency. And because I'm in touch with Tamoguna and Rajoguna, I do not know that it is actually Krishna's material tendency. But in one sense, everyone is trying to glorify Krishna only. But a person in ignorance doesn't glorify Krishna normally. A person in knowledge glorifies Krishna with knowledge. So who is not glorifying Krishna and who is not hearing about Krishna? And atheist is also glorifying Krishna, but atheist is also seeing Krishna, but he is seeing Krishna in the form of his non-existence. Agnostic is also seeing Krishna, but he is seeing Krishna in the form of doubt, which is a form of creation of materiality of Krishna. And agnostic is also seeing Krishna. And Jnani is also seeing Krishna in the form of his Brahman platform. A devotee is the person who sees the complete Krishna in the form of Shyama Sundara, who is playing a beautiful flute on the banks of Yamuna. So it's a matter of who is seeing Krishna. So Parikshit Maharaj is very intelligent. He changed the whole game. Similarly, we don't have to see the reversals as a reversal. If we understand the reversals that we are accepting right now, reverse philosophy I'm accepting, reverse association I'm accepting, reverse identity I'm accepting, reverse role models I'm accepting, celebrities, reverse role models. Amitabh Bachchan ki jai, Shah Rukh Khan ki jai. Why can't you say Shiva Prabhupada ki jai? Why can't you say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai? No, I want to say this person ki jai. Reverse role models, reverse philosophies, reverse entertainments, everything reverse. So when reversals come, and reversals will come. The nature of this world. Parikshit Maharaj is very humble. He's telling, I'm not going to be afraid of this reversals. He's going a step further and he's telling, I'm uncivilized and sinful due to my neglect of Brahminical culture. So he said, why only this reversal? Let more reversals happen. Because the real thing is, I'm a spirit soul. If something has to go away from me, anyway it will go away from me. Let Krishna, whatever is antithetical to my Krishna consciousness, may that go away. Krishna, if I'm getting some fame that is antithetical to my Krishna consciousness, may that go away. Krishna, if I'm getting some recognition that is antithetical to my Krishna consciousness, may it go away. Because I understand Krishna, my real position is that You are part and parcel. If something has to go away, may that go away. Why should I resist and suffer? Why should I resist and suffer? May that go away. If it has to go away, let it go. And Krishna, I have your lotus feet. I have your lotus feet, your shelter. I have your holy name. Parikshit Maharaj moved and being a little further to Chitraketu. Maharaj lost his son prematurely. He had a son after a long time. He has lost his son. And Chitraketu Maharaj, what did he do after losing his son? He went to Narada Muni and Angira Muni. He did not say, I'll just be lamenting. He said, Narada Muni taught him a mantra. He started practicing, he started doing kirtana. And then what did he do? His mind became enlightened. He sheltered the lotus feet of Anantadeva. Then what happened? As soon as Maharaj Chitraketu saw the Supreme Lord, he was cleansed of all material contamination and became situated in original Krishna consciousness. He became silent and grave because of love for the Lord. Tears fell from his eyes. His hair stood on end. With great devotion and love, he offered his respect to his My Lord, it is not impossible for one to be immediately freed from all material contamination by seeing you, not to speak of seeing you personally, merely by hearing your holy name. Even once, even Chandalas, men of the lowest class, are freed from all material contamination. Under the circumstances, who will not be freed from material contamination? Seeing you. So Chitraketu Maharaja, the worst thing that can happen to someone is lose your young son or daughter. You see your daughter and son passing within your eyes. You go and basically go and lay. Very, very painful. But what is the hope? Such a pain can be overcome by hearing and reading Srimad Bhagavatam. How great Srimad Bhagavatam is. How great this process must be. Even the greatest misery can be overcome. What talk of these stupid miseries? What talk of these small miseries? Chitraketu's lords. Gajendra, he was being 1,000 years he fought with a crocodile. His feet are bleeding, full of blood, full of pus. The crocodile is pulling its legs. And the Gajendra elephant is trying to relieve itself. It's trying hard. 500 years. It tried itself, cannot sustain itself. And then it tried to ask its relatives, friends. No one came to his rescue. And ultimately started begging, Krishna, please help me. Offer obeisances. Started doing kirtanam of Krishna with great emotion, with great feeling. Whatever he has heard, yatashritam, not concoction. We don't do kirtanam by concoction. As I have heard, yatashritam, as I have heard. And by doing so, Gajendra became perfect. Summarizing, Arjuna, reversal was he had to kill his family members. And the material result, Kauru was killed. Right? Material result can be positive or negative. But at the end of the day, all these people were very happy. All these devotees were very happy. Actually, Maharaja was cursed to die. Material result favorable? No. He left his body. Krishna did not protect him. Did not do magic. The Abrahamic sometimes ask, can your God do miracles? Right? Can you do miracles? What can you do? Yes, he can do a miracle. What miracle can he do? He can make you realize who you are. He can make you forget all illusion. He can give you love for Godhead. Chaitanya Guru can give you love for Godhead. He can make you bad. And you won't forget, you will forget about everything else. This is the magic he can. Anarpita Charinchila. This is the real miracle. And a person was cursed to die in 7 days. Still is not worthy. Reversals. Chitraketu lost his only son at a young age. What is the end material result? No. He raised himself from the dead. No, Narada did some magic and he came back. very nice happy ending story, forever ever after. No, right? No, not like that. And Gajendra, about to lose his life, saved from the crocodile. Okay, he went back to God. Thing is, reversals will come in a gross way or a subtle way. If my karma is bad, gross way maybe. Karma is a little good, maybe in a subtle way. But ultimately, there will be reversals in some form or the other. But you want a strong association, you want a strong attachment to the lotus feet of the pure devotee, you start hearing very faithfully, then what happens? More and more and more, one will actually perceive himself in Krishna and will transcend this material platform. This will happen. This will happen. And this is the purpose of the creation of this. Right? The purpose of International Society for Krishna Consciousness is not to make a material arrangement, nor to make a mental adjustment. Okay, until now you're mentally adjusting, this is God. Now you mentally adjust this. Krishna consciousness is not a mental adjustment. It is not an intellectual adjustment. It is not an intellectual imposition. It is direct experience of the absolute truth, which is effected by hearing and chanting of the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. But one can get direct experience. Papi tapi yate chilo, Hari Name Budhari, Tar Sakshi Jagar Madhar. Anyone can actually directly perceive oneself and can solve all problems. Anyone going through any reversal. And if one expects this reversal, because if one expects, a devotee is always expecting a reversal. The devotee is never expecting a comfortable situation. He's always expecting a reversal because there is a nature of this world. So another way a devotee does not go through the reversals is that before the reversals happen, he already expects. I already know him. Just like when the 120-year-old person passes away, we don't get surprised. There will be not too many people crying. But 5-year-old person, a lot of crying. Like, why? There is already expectation is going to pass. The devotee is already expecting this whole thing will come to a close. I'm ready to go back to God at any time. I'm ready. He already expected before it goes away. Right? His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj very nicely says. He says, before everything left me, I left everything, I became a sannyasi. Right? Of course, one need not become a sannyasi to become Krishna conscious. And Krishna is not prescribing that to Arjuna and Bhagavad Gita also. One has to offer everything to Krishna and let us this real sannyasa. So we'll talk about it in just another 5-10 minutes. We'll talk about devotees who were immune to reversals. And they were practicing so much Ramana Kirtanam, they did not even realize they had reversals. Right? We see many devotees like that. Right? They were immune. They didn't even know that it came and went away. Reversals? Really? I didn't know like that. So there are many devotees, of course. The Bhagavatam itself is about the package of these personalities. Right? How many of you do not have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam here? Is there anyone who does not have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam here? Who does not have a copy of Srimad Bhagavatam here? If not, please consider purchasing a copy, because Srimad Bhagavatam is a compendium of devotees who went through reversals. All types and varieties. So, with the interest of time, I won't talk about all these devotees. I'll just talk about Narada Muni. So, Narada Muni saying, how you perform this Ravana Kirtanam? Say evam me andratasya pashitasya hatayena shaha shraddadhanasya balasya latasya. Narada Muni is saying, my hearing was not official hearing. My hearing was that I knew all this is very temporary. I was very gentle in behavior. I had strong faith in the devotees because Narada was a small boy, a small son of a prostitute in his previous life. He was a small boy. He was not Narada Muni from day one. He was a small boy. And there were devotees who had stayed in his house during Chaturmasya Vrata. And he's relating to his disciple Vyasadeva that this is how I serve the Bhakti Vedantas. I was very gentle. I was not overly talkative. This is something Prahlad Maharaj also says to his Asuri classmates. He said, I was not very talkative. And because of that, I still remember Kalasya Dirghatvat. But my mother, she was always worried about her husband. My mother also heard from Narada Muni. I also heard from Narada Muni. But Kalastu Dirghatvat is Tritvat because of being too much Kala. And because my mother, being a Stree, she was always concerned about her husband and family relatives. And because of this, she forgot everything she heard from Narada Muni. But me, though so many things have passed, I have not forgotten yet. Because I was not overly talkative. This is something that Narada Muni also says. I was not overly talkative. And because of that, I could influence. It's a very nice verse. But this confidential knowledge, I could clearly understand the influence of energy of Lord Krishna, the creator, maintainer, and annihilator of everything, by knowing that one can return to him and be limited. And oh great sage, as soon as I got a taste of the personality of Godhead, and my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching, and as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings for both the Lord and my transcendental. So this is the words of the day, So where Yaya Aham Etad Sadasat Swamaya Pashe Mai Brahmani Kalpita. I had accepted something to be part of me only in ignorance. Because how do I see it? When I got some taste for Hare Krishna mantra, taste for serving Krishna, I could realize actually whatever I'm thinking is an acceptance of my own ignorance. Yaya aham etat. Yaya aham means because of this Maya. Yaya aham etat. Sadasat. Sadasat swamaya. Because of this Maya, I accepted myself, Mai Brahmani Kalpitam. I imagined myself to be something. When this imagination is removed, this thought is self-realization. This imagination of thinking, I am this, I am that, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I am this. Because of this imagination, everyone is manufacturing so many activities. When this imagination is removed, when this imagination is removed, immediately one stops all material activities and one is engaged in the real activities. Spiritual activity is called. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, immediately as one begins devotional service, because devotional service is an act of spiritual platform where one is consciously aware that I'm a part of past and it is actually carried out on the realized platform. Devotional service cannot be realized, cannot be practiced on the materialistic platform. Of course, it's possible it's practiced. But the real devotee is actually practicing Krishna consciousness on the real platform. So a devotee is not a devotee, any person is possible Krishna even once small Krishna. Because how can he offer Krishna? All his miseries are over. A person who has chanted Hare Krishna mantra once is already liberated. He doesn't have to endeavor for liberation artificially. It's already liberated. It's already liberated. Right? So this is a very nice verse. He's telling, and this time, Aham Chadat Brahmakule Ruti Sadupekshaya Diktesha Kala Vippanno Alakha Sayana. And this happened. My mother actually was there, and I was only being cared for my mother. At that point of time, a serpent came, and the only person whom I had was my mother. And it bit my mother. Imagine you're a small boy, you're 5 years. The only person you have is your mother, your father. And they also go away. Who will you go to? Who will I go to? Narada Muni is telling Sham means auspiciousness. I thought this is actually Ishasya Bhaktana. Krishna's for his devotees, Bhaktana Sham Adhipsita. Ipsita means he desires. What is the nature of Krishna? Krishna desires the auspiciousness of it. Sham Abhipsita. Krishna considers, even if I desire to be a devotee, Krishna considers me to be a devotee. Even if I desire, that is the Krishna's mercy. Krishna does not see even if I'm only chanting 64 rounds of the I just think, let me go to Krishna temple. Krishna thinks I'm a devotee. Now then Krishna will start interfering in my life to engineer me back to God. That is Krishna's mercy. And the spiritual master fasts. So Sham in Abhipsita, so Krishna is he desires the auspiciousness of a devotee. So every reversal that a devotee is a careful recipe that Krishna is cooking in my life. Everything, there is nothing inauspicious in the life of a devotee. Because Sham Abhipsita, it desires the auspiciousness. So devotee is never discouraged. Is always enthusiastic. My dear Krishna, just like I'll give a raw example because Prabhupada mentioned it in the purport. Forgive me if it doesn't suit the assembly. Just like when a man and a woman meet for the first time after marriage, sometimes to effect more intimacy, the woman tries to not, does not wear the same clothes. She tries to, be a little more intimate, the man. So one can say the woman is getting, disrobed. But that disrobing is meant to increase the intimacy between a man and a woman. Similarly, a devotee gets disrobed in this material world from all his material attachments. That disrobing is meant to increase the intimacy between Krishna, who's a female, and the female, who's a male. And devotee who realizes this romance immediately spots this desire of Krishna. And please, Krishna, thank you for disrobing me. I'm ready to unite with you. I'm ready to unite with you. This is the mood of a devotee. Our disrobing is very good. Right? So, because we are Prakriti. Very nice pastime. I don't know if I have time. So, it's a very, it takes 5 minutes maybe. This is by a devotee by Tirupan Adwa. Let us finish with the story. So, this devotee, he was constantly chanting during the Pushkarni. Pushkarni means where the waters are there that are taken to worship Lord Ranganatha. And he is an outcast. He has not even seen Krishna, has not even seen Lord Ranganatha. The only thing he has done is he hears about Krishna, and after hearing, just like Rukmini Devi did not see Krishna, she heard about Krishna and is meditating on Krishna. Similarly, this Tirpan Advar has heard about Krishna, and he has heard and he is glorifying. He is in ecstasy, he is closing his eyes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. He is glorifying. While he is glorifying, he does not see anything. He does not see his day, he does not see his night. He does not see whether he has eaten, he does not see whether he has not eaten. He does not know who is passing, he does not know who is passing. He is dancing, he is dancing. Tears are flowing from his eyes. Ecstatic. He's dancing in great affection. In great affection, remembering the beautiful form of the Lord. Beautiful form of the Lord is enjoying. Mahamrita Magna Chittaha. Mahamrita Magna. Magna means like a magnet. Magnet. Mahamrita Magna Chittaha. I was absorbed like a magnet. Similarly, he's also absorbed like a magnet to the form of Lord Ranganatha. And he's absorbed, he does not notice. The person who worships the deities is coming and he said, no. A person, a person who's experiencing Krishna consciousness, he does not hear anything else but Krishna. Sthavar Jangam Dekhe na Dekhe Taramurti Sarvatra Bhoja Ishta Devasku. Sthavar Jangam Dekhe na Dekhe. A devotee, he does not see Sthavar Ishta Devasku. He sees Krishna everywhere. So all he saw was Ranganatha. He heard. He didn't hear this person. This person is saying, move. He didn't hear. So in order to ask him, because an outcast, he's going to do this. He's not a secret. He's an outcast. How can he touch? This person is thinking like that. This person.
Because just to indicate to him, his son, what happened? By mistake, it hit the forehead of Tilpan Adwa and he started bleeding. Hey, do you not see I'm asking you to move? Why do you ask? Why do you make me cover as move? He Tilpan came to the senses. And he saw blood flowing. But again, a reversal. Someone's hitting him. He do not say, I'm better devotee than you. What are you? Committed Vaishnava Aparadh? I say it like that. Even if I was like one person, I would have said that. So the point is, you do not sin. I'm so sorry. I caused some inconvenience to you. Forgive me. Please forgive me. And then he took some water and he went back to Lord Ranganatha Swami. There are different accounts. One of the accounts I've heard is that Lord Ranganatha Swami's door became closed. He could not go inside. And there was an Akashavani, Ashariri. The person whom he offended is my best devotee. He's been meditating on me every moment. I'm giving him darshan every moment. Yeah. As a Parihara, what do you have to do? Whatever you have to do, you take Tirupanarvar on your shoulders and call the whole town. The whole town has to see this is the whole thing is basically carrying Tirupanarvar. You have to carry him. And in this way, you have to come to the sanctum sanctum. My devotee will have a darshan of me for the first time. I want to see this. And this person, the Pujari, accepted. Very good. If Krishna himself says, what can I do? Committed a great offense. I have to somehow do this. So sorry, I committed Vaishnava. They went back and called the whole village, called everyone to Sri Lanka. Took Tirupanarvar on his shoulders. The whole world is witnessing for the first time a person of outcasts entering. Of course, before everyone devotee used to enter. But in these Middle Ages, these practices came into vogue. At that time, it was very revolution. So this person entered for the first time. He's having darshan. He's having darshan for the first time. And it is ecstasy. He's composed a beautiful work describing the beautiful form of the Lord from the lotus feet to the eyes of Lord Vanda. And he became so ecstatic. He walked into the form of Lord Vandana and he was down. And his work is called Amalanadigram. Basically, 10 verses that basically describes the beautiful form of the Lord. And we can see in this context, in this pastime, he's going through an apparent reversal in the sense when he's hitting him, he's bleeding, but doesn't even realize this is happening because of intense absorption in the Lord. Intense absorption in the Lord. So this intense absorption is possible by Shravanam and Kirtanam. And this is actual, this is factual, it is not imagination. And a person who's experiencing this doesn't have to come back. So with this being said, stop here. If I committed any offenses, mentioned anything wrong, spoke more than my adhikar, forgive me. As a humble servant, answer to the issue. Thank you so much, devotees.
Thank you.